crazy world, you've arrived at that's a pretty crazy idea. And me, I'm John. So I've got the back panel off, and the condenser is really got a lot of ice on it. I know that the timer still works. Not right now because I don't have it plugged in, but I know that because I put it onto the defrost cycle and it kept timing and kept going, and the compressor came back on. So this is a simple matter of why is the defroster not working. So is it the defrost wire itself, the fuse, or the thermometer? You just have to figure that out and replace that part, and I should be good to go. Yeah. Yeah. It's on that one. So the one that we have here, let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, let's just check that it's working. There we go. It's got a nice beep on it. Now, this is the thermostat. If you stick a probe in there and a probe in there, there's no continuity. What you have to do with these is you have to put them in the freezer. I'm going to just pop it in the freezer. By the time we check this other stuff out. Okay, this is the one from the existing fridge. Again, no continuity. This is the fuse. It's a thermal fuse. And this is the one from the new one, the brand new one I just bought. And you stick it in there. There you go. Continuity. So you know this fuse is good. Now the thing that you have to do is have to take these things off and then replace them with this one, because this is from a different type of fridge. This is actually from a Samsung, and I have a Maytag, but it's the same rating on the actual fuse. The other thing you have to watch is on my old one, the grain wire goes to the bottom end here, and on this one, since the fuse is at the same end, right, you got the yellow thing there, you have to take the black wire. The gray wire now becomes the black wire, and the black wire will become the red wire. So when you replace these, you have to put them on the correct ones. Now, how easy is it to do these connectors? Well, first you take out the little holder on this one, and then inside there's a little clamping mechanism. So I usually take, and you can see that there's a little ridge there. That's part of the clamping mechanism. Now, if you just push it in from one side, what happens is you still can't pull it out because this is all interfering. So you need 2 screwdrivers. And then you come in from the other side as well. And once you've got that side in, you can pull this side out, and it doesn't come out. Okay. No, didn't get it that time. Let's push it in a little bit harder. This can be a bit fiddly. little bit of patience is let's see if that, there we go. You do have to get it just so in here. So I got two connectors from the Maytag, but that's all right because it's the same two wires. It's just a slightly different connector. You just pull that off, and then you got to find out where. Okay, it's at the, again, it's at the, in the middle between the two wires. So one wire goes like that, and this one really isn't going to work that well. Okay. I have to get a smaller screwdriver. Well, it doesn't really matter because I've broken this now down at the bottom here. So I am just going to be able to smash this and take it out because it won't be reusable once it's damaged like that. Yeah, I'm just going to smash it. Really got it stuck in there, man. Oops. Stubborn. You want to do it kind of carefully because you don't want to damage the actual wire connectors inside. Oh, there we go, that's one. Now let's see if I can get the same way the other one. Same way. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I need a bit more. There we go. Okay. So that's garbage. This old one is garbage. And this one now which one was it? Gray wire to this and black wire, that means the red wire to this one. I better check that out. Okay, so I ended up with one small problem. The new one has female ends on it, and the old fuse has male ends. So the only way to really adjust that fast and easy is what I could have done in the first place, which is just cut this off, solder them together, replace the 2 wires as they should be, and solder them together, tape them up, and away I go. And then put them back into the original cans. So that is my next project, but that's what I'll be doing just to make it fast and easy. Okay, we're just going to test the thermostat, and it's been in the fridge for about 10 minutes now, maybe 15. Just have one probe in like that. There we go, a nice clear sound, so you know the thermostat is working. So now, like I say, all I'm going to do now is resolder these 2 ends on and call it a day. Okay, I've got to solder them. They're solid wires, so it's not as easy to solder it, and to get that nice, absolutely beautiful turning on the ends there, you need a pair of safety wire pliers, which I suspect most people don't have. So, but that's how you get that nice finish. So I'm going to solder them together, and then I'm going to wrap them and take it from there. Okay, there's the soldering job. You don't want to do that too near the fuse because it is a temperature sensitive fuse. So there was a nice long lead here, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. Now I'm just going to wrap it with some electrical tape, and it should be good to go. Okay. They're wrapped. Let's just check for continuity between the 2. There we go. So that fuse should be perfectly fine. Okay, now I changed over the black and the gray wires because I thought, well, what the heck, it doesn't matter now. So the black wire goes to the single now, and it goes in this end, and it should, I believe, go this way around. There's the single. Now the double. Yeah, I think it went this end, didn't it? Okay, I better hold off on that and just watch. Okay. So this wire goes in. Okay, so there's a higher point there, so you want to put this one in the same way you got it out, which means it goes in like that, and then you put the stop back on. There we go. Now I'll do one more continuity test. Okay. Okay, let's see if we got continuity on this. There we go. So we're Works still good. It should just be probably hooked in now and into the fridge, into the old wiring, and away I go. That's it for now. Okay, now we're going to test the actual heater itself. How do we do this? I'm going to use initially I'm just going to use the continuity test, even though that is not the absolute test that you need to do. But if you don't have continuity, then what ends up happening is, well, it's broken, period. So let's see if I can mount this camera somewhere. Not great, but it'll do. Okay. That's one. There we go. We got continuity. Now I'm going to switch it over to the ohm meter, and the ohms that your heater should have are going to be on your little sheet here. And let's see if we can get this thing to lock in. Come on. Anyways, it is on your little sheet that's with your fridge, and mine are, okay, I'm not sure which one I have, but it's 36.3 or 33.4. So I've already done this, and what I ended up with is 35.5, which is right in between. Really getting let's see if we can work it that way. Okay. Is it coming up? 35.4. 35.4. And that would be right in between the two figures. And you have a maximum variance of 5% on this machine. So that means my heater coil is fine. Now the other thing you want to do is you just want to check and make sure that the openings are clear. This one's for just the air, and this one is for the water. This is the water tray back here that goes down, and I pushed my fingers through it so there's no obstructions anywhere here. You still have to, I have to go down further. Here's the, it comes down into here, and then it drops into this tray here at the back, and then there's that little hole there. You want to make sure all this is clear, and then that little hole goes into this plug here, which then takes it to the bottom of the fridge to where the condenser is, and then it evaporates from there, the tray underneath the fridge. So you still have to, I still have to put a wire down through here all the way to the bottom and make sure it's all clear. So I can go back to more or less putting this together. You can see how hot it got. This is some sort of tarry substance here, and it melted from the excess heat before the fuse blew. Now, I think I know what happened. I think what happened was the timer stopped. And why did the timer stop? I think because I jammed something in under here, which just put pressure on the timer, and it just stopped. That's my guess. But everything seems to work. And yeah, so other than that, I couldn't tell you what was the matter with it, which is not necessarily a good way to go. Okay, all the wiring's back in. You might want to take a couple of pictures when you're pulling the wires, before you pull the wires, just to make sure you know where everything goes. But I'm still missing why the fuse blew. Well, there's one more possibility, and it could be the temperature control. Yeah, it's fairly easy to test. Again, you'll need a multimeter. And all I have to do is take these two wires off and do the test on it. Okay. Okay, so the last thing in the circuit that I'm going to test is the temperature control. This little puppy down here. And because I just have I don't have a tone on my ohm meter, I'm just going to use the continuity, and as you can hear, there's no continuity with that. And if I put my two probes together, where are you? So definitely continuity there, and definitely no continuity here. But that's because I got it in the off position. So now I'm going to turn it to the on. So now we're on 2. And let's have a quick look, quick test of this continuity, see if it works. Yeah. So this unit's okay. It's working fine. Now the problem is, that leaves me with one problem. The fuse blew, but what made it blow? There's 4 items on the fuse, and all of them seem to be okay. The problem with electrics is sometimes at the end stage of their life, they're on and intermittently okay, and until they actually break, you don't know which one is actually the fault one. Now this is kind of expensive because the fuse on this was $30 to land into my door, and I got a couple of just regular fuses that I can splice in, and if it blows again because whatever is acts up again, I'll have a couple of spare fuses, which are only like $1.50 a piece. That was $10 for 2 to get them here. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm gonna initially leave the back of the fridge off here, so I can test to see what's happening, and hopefully nothing comes of it. It's just maybe the fuse just cycled too many times and blew up. So I'm going to put all this back together again, and in case you're wondering, there was no control board on this fridge. It's kind of an old fridge. It's kind of cheap at the bottom end of the range, so makes it fairly simple to check these things out. So yeah, so I'm just going to throw, that's all put back together back in the back there. I'm just going to put this, it's just two screws. I just got to put the wiring back on, onto this. Yeah. Oh, where did it go? There's, I'll get the wiring back in. And a bit hard when you're just using one hand. And then I'll screw this back underneath here. And we'll test it. I've already checked out the hole plug. Yeah. So all I can do is sit back and wait and see if it breaks again. Okay, so let's give it a whirl. See if it, see if when I get it back together whether it's working. Okay, so there was 2 screws up here, and then this is kind of on a slider. And this little gizmo here is actually a spacer to hold that in place when it's in. Okay, let's see if I can get it in. There we go. And then these little blue things, they're just cover caps. And they just go on like that, hide the screws. There we go. Let's take the tape off of here. And turn it to off. It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. Just turn that to off for now. And I do have to actually put the cover in back here because it's got a fan on. So I'll do that. Got the 4 screws right there. Okay, so there's the upper portion in. Just got to put this back in. And that's it. Now let's see if it runs. So the lights are both on, good sign. And stick it on 5. What? 4 is medium. Okay, go 4. Here we go. It's actually cool already. So now I just have to wait and see whether the heater does work and whether it blows the fuse again or not. So all that's left for me to do otherwise is blow out the compressor compartment with my wet dry vacuum, and hopefully this will be finished. Okay, back to the Maytag fridge repair. It's now November 2022. I repaired it in February of 2021 and had no problems with it since. All that it was the fuse, and everything's working great. So it was a pretty cheap repair, pretty fast and easy.